We are live, everybody. Look who is the demo dog today. This is 23-month-old little bee. How cute is she? So, Belief used to be part of my dog, but partly my dog, but she was abducted by the person who had the other part. So Belief was shared by Kim and I when she first came here. And then it got to be less and less that I was really allowed to train because Kim was training. So I got Profit, and B still lives here 4 days a week with Kim. And so I do get to train her a little bit, but she's no longer my dog. She is 100% Kim's dog, but she's going to be our demo dog. Fingers crossed that today, the foundation training that I did with her, I still have a great relationship with her. That's going to carry over to what we're going to do today. Okay, I have a question for you. Number one, I would like to know where you're all from. Number two, on a scale of 0 to 10, with 0 being the lowest, 10 being like knocking it out of the park, how excited are you about achieving your training goals for 2024? So, hey, Kay. Kay's on. How excited are you? We got Ithaca, New York, Germany. I'm going to Germany this year. I am. Okay, we got 4. We got a lot of 10s. 10,000. That is that's an excited state about achieving your goals for your dog training goals for 2024. And it's okay to be honest. If you don't have any dog training goals, it would be a 0, wouldn't it? So many 10s. We've got Cleveland, we've got Belgium, we've got another fellow Canadian, Finland. Look at all over the world. Welcome, Edmonton, Alberta, British Columbia. So how many of you, it's March, so we are still in the first quarter of 2024. How many of you have had great progress on your goals for 2024? Have had great progress in the first 3 months of the year. You've been crushing it for your dogs. You know what? If you have any, whatever your health and fitness goals or your, I'm trying to grow my hair out goals, I just want to know what your dog training goals. All right. So how many of you have made great progress? I love it. I love it. I love it. I see some students in there that are saying, yes, we're making great progress. I see you guys. That's awesome. So Little Belief, who is our demo dog today, is also 23 months old. Not yet. And it's okay. You know what? There's a lot of people saying they're crushing it. You guys, this is a safe place. What is our motto here in our agility community, in our dog training community? Our motto is be kind. You are in a safe place here. It is okay to say that I'm not really going where I really thought I would be. We got you. We got you here. But I am so thrilled to see so many students saying things are heading in the right way. Great progress with Homeschool the Dog. I love it. I love it. I love it. Okay. So today, you know what? Before we get going, I want to give away a prize. So I think I've got a little picture. I will pull it up. I'm going to give away a prize of yesterday's share winner. Boom. And they are going to win a For My Merle. I don't know what we're calling this toy. It's an Easter egg toy. It's a tearaway toy. It's a Kinder toy. So that toy was won by Cindy Aziz. I got nothing, Cindy. I apologize, but that is a fun ass last name right there. Okay, so if you were going to do, actually, I'm going to give away another one of these today. So if you would like a chance to win instantly today, then I would like you to share this live stream, share it somewhere on social media. Come on back, write in the comments where you shared it and what your idea was, if it's different than what you're watching this right now. And at the end of today, we're going to give away another, I don't know, I kind of like Kinder toy. What do you think? Kinder? Tearaway? Kinder? I like Kinder, but it's spelled kinder, which I kind of think is cool too, because you could call it the Kinder toy. So we'll see if Belief likes that toy later. We'll give that a go and see if that. All right. Also today, we're giving away, because yesterday was sports day, where we talked about dog sports and the integration of how we train into dog sports. And so we said that we had an amazing prize package for the person who our team selected as having the gem that they felt was most relevant with all the people in our community and really touched the majority of people, the most people. And they were going to, and they are winning a bag to carry your treat and train with, and it covers it up, and yeah, it's really cool. And a target. Now, if you do dog agility, this is a great. If you're teaching running contacts, that's a great target. And if you're just training at home, it's a target that you can teach your dogs to stop on the spot. There's just so many things you can do with that target. From the great people at Galligan, a dog agility, that's the only dog agility equipment that I use is Galligan, and their distributor in North America, Run It Dog Sports. So they're the ones who said, let's go all in and give you a great, you don't get the treat and train itself, you get the bag and the target. So, okay, who is the winner? Great prize, right? Let's have some hearts for our sponsors. For My Merles, Blue Nine, Galligan, and Run It. Thank you for giving out prizes. I love giving away prizes. Like a little bit of Oprah right there. Here's the gem. I need to be honest answering the question, what's holding me back? What's holding me back is not letting go of the what ifs. What if I would have gone to training sooner and not waited a year? What if I would have known better and not trained bad habits that took a lot of time to unlearn? What if we had a bigger area and more equipment for agility? I need to change my mindset from what if to be more curious and ask what's next. Oh my gosh, I love this. What's the next layer of reinforcement zone do I need to put in? What's the first layer of the next skill to learn? What's next in the journey to be an amazing agility team? Diane, I bet you somebody who's Spanish could really nail this name. Vielho. Okay, I kind of almost sounded a little bit Spanish right there, didn't I? I don't know. Spanish. Okay. Cookies for the cute dog in the background.
I like the line, what's next?
I love that line, what's next? And that, Diane pointed out something that I think a lot of puppy owners do. And I can understand it. People so LOH is sitting right beside me here. So it's like, I feel like I'm chatting with her as well. So LOH in the house. So I feel like a lot of people, when they get a puppy, maybe it's Disney. Let's blame Disney. That they assume or they think or they hope that, yeah, maybe we'll have a little pee or in the house once in a while, but it's a puppy. It'll learn to love us and it'll be a great dog and everything will turn out fine. And so the education happens habitually. You get to a place where, like Tater Salad was 15 months old. Actually, they started. The family who owned Tater Salad started complaining about his behavior when he was 6 months old. And I think he'd already destroyed 2 couches at that point. And I said, look, this isn't stuff they grow out of. They actually get better at it. So you need to address this now. And at 15 months, when he didn't grow out of it and he went and tore up 2 more couches, they said, he's got to go. And so you have this thought that, he's going to be a great dog, but like we pour at least 13 years of educating children to get through to like high school. They're not even done college yet. So maybe 14 years. I think it's only 12 now. It's not 13. When I went to school, we had grade 13, and then we went to university. So there's at least there's at least 16 years of education if you go all the way through college, which gives you a great education. We want our dogs to have a great education, and we're saying, oh, they can just figure it out, or maybe we'll go 6 weeks to a local class. I love the thought that the what ifs are not important. The what's next is what's important. Did that resonate with you guys? Is that something that you went, yeah, that is, that touched me. I mean, you can realize what's next. Yeah, let's blame Disney. Absolutely. Okay, so my dog training goals clearly don't have to be yours, but you have to, if you want to achieve, I would say the number one reason people don't achieve their dog training goals, the number one, bar none, number one reason is they don't set any. They allow behavior to happen habitually. They don't allow behavior to happen intentionally. And so when it happens habitually, you don't really know what you're going to get. You know, it's just like, surprise, my dog's a year old. And yeah, he doesn't come when he's called. And yeah, he pulls on a leash. Yeah, he actually is a little brat when I have company over. Surprise. None of it was intentional. So my goals don't have to be your goals. I obviously train a dog to be, number one, first and foremost, an amazing family pet. But number two, I want them to be confident. So that goes with amazing family pet. So if I have, can you put that on, please? Down there. And what are you pointing at? Oh, that number one, I want them to be an amazing family pet, and I want them to be confident. So if I have behavioral problems, and then we have to deal with those behavioral problems. That comes first before I go to the cherry on top. Can we do agility together? And when we can start doing agility, I fall in love, as I mentioned with at the very beginning of our series, 4th anniversary series, was I fall in love with the beauty of the behaviors, of the nuances of the behavior. And then guess what? I can take a dog like this, who honestly, I didn't know if she would ever be able to do agility because we had so many behavioral problems. It was just, I want to make this more beautiful. I want to make this more beautiful. And we're at a place now where in 2 weeks, we're going to try out for the Canadian World Team. That's mind blowing, right? So you need to be intentional about what you want. And I encourage you all to dream big. So I think that the biggest thing is, number one, you have to have goals. Number two, you have to have a plan. Number three, you have to have support for that plan. The support is going to be there for the times when you just don't feel like training. The support is going to be there for the times when you're banging your head against the wall. I tried that. It didn't work. I tried that. It didn't work. What can I do? So you absolutely need that support. Super, super important. Okay. I have another question for you. And I don't want this to sound like I'm being critical of anybody's training methodology, but it's an honest question. How many of you have ever been told or have ever heard people say reinforcement-based dog training can't work? That at some point, all dogs need some form of punishment. How many of you have ever heard that? That maybe somebody has told that to you. Does anybody have that there is a lot of trainers that have said it to me? It doesn't work. Just last week, Jose said, just last week. So I can't believe the number of people on social media apps that say it reinforcement, or what they call positive only. There's no such thing as positive only, but there is such a thing as reinforcement based, or what we do, reinforcement based and game based. People insist it doesn't work. Like all the hardware sitting behind me here, I'm sitting here today because I wanted to let you know, heck yeah, it works. Every single piece, every single trophy sitting behind me, except for 2, 2 that were won by my dog who I got in 1990. In 1992, I turned over and started training with only reinforcement, leaving behind collar pops, leaving behind long leashes. I haven't put a long line on a dog since 1992. I will take the exception of tater salad. So of any puppy I've ever raised, I have never had a long line on the dog. Tater salad, we had to get him some exercise, and yes, we would let him run on a long line. So the point is, it's just crazy to me the number of people that say it doesn't work. It freaking works, people. It works. So long lines, that's just a nuance. I believe too many people use long lines as a crutch. Long lines are there as insurance, but a lot of times dogs get the exit stage left because they don't listen. So I don't teach with a long line. Everything we teach is in the form of game. Everything we teach is in the form of a game. And so I just want to share with you, it works. And later today, I'm going to share an opportunity for you to become part of a community. I'm going to let you know how you can join one of our programs, because starting today, after this live is over, and until next Monday, we're opening our classrooms. It is an opportunity. I don't want anyone to be afraid and say, oh, she's going to start selling to me. I got to get off right now. You know why I'm not going to sell to you? Because I only want people to join our programs who feel they are our people. If I have to sell you, that means somewhere deep inside of you, you don't feel you belong. Why would I want to do that to my community? And so it's an opportunity. I'll share a little bit about it. It's an opportunity, right? So don't get scared. It's an opportunity for you. That's where we're going. Okay. So if you haven't been following along, how many of you have been? This is our third. This is our fourth. This is our fourth lesson in the nuances of training. So how many of you have caught the previous three? So our first one, we talked about the nuance of reinforcement, and excellence in dog training is somebody being able to explain the nuances to you, somebody being able to help you adopt the nuances in a way that feels authentic to you. All right. So number one, we were talking about the nuances of reinforcement. I taught you 2 location-specific reinforcement markers. You guys can go back and watch the replays of those lessons. They happen Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday of this week. We also introduced the idea of how do we shape a target so that our dogs can show us what is of value. And then we went to lesson 2, where we grew. It was the nuances of cues. And we talked about how to cue the paws up, so that we're making good use of the target in a functional way, maybe to brush your dog's teeth, maybe to get a picture of your dog. So number 3, then, that was yesterday. It was all about the nuances of dog sports, in particular dog agility. But I also mentioned that what we're sharing crosses all boundaries. I don't care if you're saying, Susan, I just want to have the best behaved dog ever. And that's often the goals when people come to us. But what they realize is going through our programs is when they adopt any methodology of dog training, it becomes part of the fabric of who they are. So when you are told, watch for the dog, he's being, that's wrong, tell him no, then you become a person who looks for opportunities to tell people, no, that's wrong. And when you train in the dogs the way that I hope, if you've been following along, you feel a lightheartedness to the training, and it infiltrates who you become, not just with your dog, but it keeps growing. How many of you who are our students have already felt that transition? That the way that you approach the dog training, looking for what's good, and when things don't go well, you don't blame the dog. You look at, what could I have done with the environmental conditions, the antecedent arrangements? What could I have done to educate my dog better? How many of you, if you're watching and you're one of my students, have felt that shift in who you are? Because I believe I was put on this earth to inspire dog owners to want to give their dogs the best life possible. And while they're doing that, in the process of learning that through our teams and our coaching, that they actually get connection with their highest self and get to live their best life possible. I think that's how it works. I've seen it happen so many times. And that's what I would love to happen for you guys, each and every one of you watching this. All right. So that was the three that we focused on was our nuances. And today it's all about taking the nuances of these games and showing you how it transitions to real life. And look at a lot of you saying, yeah, it changed my life. Working these programs has not only changed the way I look at dog training, but also the way I interact with people. I love that, Kat. I love it. And Kat, you've had some really profound things that you've shared back with us that has changed our lives. And that's just the way, the magic of how it happens. Actually, absolutely. Right. And this is a great observation, Andy. Being raised in a punishment paradigm as a child makes dog training without punishment quite a shift. And I believe that my journey led me to this path to train dogs this way, because I was a person who was really, really, really good at punishment. I mean, I was good. My timing was brilliant. I could still get great trained dogs, but I could feel who I was becoming, and I didn't like that person. And so it definitely has changed me. Okay, so today it's all about growing. It's about growing what I've taught you in the first three, and I'm going to share with you something that it's going to be a big aha moment. And I'm going to get B out here in a second, and I'm going to, do you have some questions you want me to?
We have lots of questions.
Okay, so I'm just going to do one quick little demo with B. And then I'm going to come back. I'm just going to call her out, and she's going to show you where value is. All right. So I'm just going to walk out and at first I'm going to move the camera over, and she's going to show you where's value. And so it will be obvious for you to see. There's going to be a quick little demo. I'm going to move the camera over here so that I'm doing it this way because I want to be able to use the same microphone so you guys can hear me. All right, so I'm just going to walk out here. Billy. So, boom. She showed me where value was, right? Immediately. If I throw a cookie, search. Doesn't matter. She's going to go, there's value. I see value. I see value. Come on, B. Can you help it up? All right, so that is an accumulation of all the things that we did in our first three sessions, isn't it? So that dog showed me that's where the value is. So also, I'm hoping a lot of times you couldn't hear me on the microphone the last few days. So I did change my microphone. Yes. So again, Tina still says it was still hard to hear me on that. I changed the microphone. I was hoping. Do you have those questions? I was hoping that the microphone's better. Okay. So I put you down a rabbit hole by saying I don't use a long line, and maybe that's a topic of I think I have a podcast on that, maybe.
Some people didn't know it.
So a long line is something that I was taught. I was in the school that I was raised with my dog training. We use lures to get the dog what we wanted to do. Then we use a collar pop if they didn't do it. And when we taught our recall, we put the dog on a long line. We'd say, come pop. Sometimes my little, Jack Russell Terrier, who was just 12 weeks old, she'd do like these rolls at the end of the long line because I'd call pop. So it was not something that, not something that I'm, we all have a past. And when I say I'm not proud of it, that's a harsh thing to say, because it is what it is. It was right for me at that time. Okay. But I am so glad that I have moved beyond that. That is not something that I do with dogs today. Ryan, what are the best games to teach impulse control? Well, I would say impulse control. It's a sketchy thing, really. It's any game that can create value somewhere. All right. So, comments are the sound is better today. So it all starts for me with crate games. So Kiba got it. Kiba and Chico. Okay. How do I get my partner on board for training? Robin. Wow. That's a good one. And I got to tell you, I did a podcast about that one. Can't remember the episode, but I did an analogy of a fun park, a park outside the backyard. Do you remember that one? Yeah, you would. I bet you would. So there is a podcast on it though. And I bet somebody on my team will put that we'll put it here. Susan, you gave BQ cook for remaining on bed. You gave directly to her. Could you have tossed it without the cook? Yeah. That's a great question.
Cues.
Yeah. I said cook, and then I brought a cookie to her. I didn't want to toss it because there's a lot of things here. I didn't want her to if I toss it, I would have had to say search, and then she would be all over the ground looking for it. And there's things here I don't really want her to get caught up in. Okay. April, beautiful. Do the best we can. Each of us, you've got to give yourself grace. When we know better, we do better. We all have a history. My history in dog training started with punishment. Now, it isn't as horrific as some people's history. And so for that, I'm grateful. It was very mild punishment on a choke chain, but it still it's nothing related to what I do today. Does the treat fountain have to flow forever, or will I always need to walk with treats? So in reinforcement-based dog training, unlike what I would call more traditional dog training with food, and what we do, game-based, reinforcement-based dog training, let me just draw a comparison. So how were you taught to get a dog to walk on a loose leash? Just put it in the comments. How would you go about teaching a puppy loose leash walking? Because that I think is one of the most difficult skills to get consistency with, isn't it? How would you go about I have bowls of treats everywhere now. A lot of these people are from our programs. Reinforcement zone, reinforcement zone, reinforcement zone. I love you guys. So how do most people, or how were you first taught to train? So we have a lot of students on here. That's awesome. Okay, here's one. Give in to leash pressure. Stop and just hold until they turn back to you. So that is using negative reinforcement. Positive reinforcement is giving a cookie. Negative reinforcement is releasing pressure. Like if they stop, you hold them and you release that pressure when they come back to you. In the 80s, I hired a trainer who taught me hard pops on my first sweetest dog ever. It's upsetting to think about it. So the way most people are taught to get your dog walking the loose leash is with cookie or some sort of lure at first, right? Cookie, cookie, cookie. And then there is a time where you say, you should know this. And then there'll be some form of pressure or popping when the dog doesn't do it. So the question is, when does a treat fountain stop flowing? What we do is different in that what we do is about creating value for what we want. Cookie luring isn't creating value. And B showed you she has value for those targets, right? So when I teach loose leash walking, the vast majority of it is done without a leash in my hand. I get where I would like the value to happen. I'd like to get value happening, and I'd like the dog to show me that they have value. All right, so I'll show you where we progress to. So let me just change this up. So do the cookies have to flow forever? Eventually, the dog just loves playing the game. And so we get brilliance. Can you see what my, I think it was over here. Okay. Okay, so my dog showed you where the value is. So if I start here, Billy, there's value there, correct? I'm going to leave her here. Give her a cookie now. She's going to show me where the next value is. Put in the comments where you think the next value will be. So there's value for the perch. Where's the next value? Value there. Now, where's next value going to be?
I got a front pink.
The pink one right here, so that's where she's going to go next. Right.
I got a next target. I got the seam.
Look at where she went.
Her side. Your side.
Good. So
Beside you. Your hip.
Good. So there's value in those targets, but there's value beside. There's value beside me. Be seen on my seam. That's what we tell our students.
This is their actionable item.
Right? Be seen on my seam. Side. Yes, there's value here. If I stop short, the value is on my seam. That if I turn short of a target, good. And you can see, like, I don't have to give her cookies all the time. But with me. Good. Right? That was super good. Break. You know, but oh wait, the bed's falling apart again. There we go. Jeez, the bed's falling down because she's getting off that so fast. Like she's kicking the bed. Okay. So the way we train, we get the transfer of value. So the value doesn't stay with the cookie. I'm the value. And that is how all of our programs are intentionally created. That's why that's a nuance of moving from games to real life. That's what training with games, if it's intentionally laid out, that's how the magic happens. So do you always have to keep cookies? You do if the value's staying with the cookies. But the value doesn't stay with the cookies when you train it properly. The value transfers to where I want to be. In dog agility, it transfers to the seesaw, the weave pulls, the tunnels, the jumps, all of those things that I would love for my dog to be as much in love with as they're in love with their cookies or for my Merle's tug toy, which I did say I would give her a chance to play with. We'll have to try that one. Okay. Does that make sense? Do you guys see? Like, I know it's a big jump. We went from the nuances of saying cook and search to, okay, how'd you get there? Well, there's a lot of layers in between that are in our dog training programs, but it's intentionally laid out in a way that the dog gets it. It's intentionally laid out in a way that the dog wants to keep going. So we're seeing so many treats because I'm demonstrating the training program. Yes, if I took away the targets and went out there with no treats, she would absolutely do it. Right? Sure. Yeah, you can pick those up. So it's not about the treats. It's about the value. The value has been transferred. Okay. So yeah, if you've been following our podcasts, like you can see that permission, the giving the dog the autonomy to make choices, that's really the biggest part of why training this way works. Okay, so I'm going to go out there, no cookies on me, but at the end maybe we'll let her tug with the new tug toy. But the tug toy. Oh, I didn't turn my microphone around. Okay, there we got it. Billy. He said the wrong word. Good. Down. Sit. You don't know that one? I think you know that one. Nice. Okay, let's get it and down. Fine. Sit. Start. Nice. Okay. Fine. Thank you. Okay, let's go like that. Here we go, little one. Okay, so, oops, my camera. That is an 18-month-old puppy, or excuse me, she's a 23-month-old puppy who, there's a hook on the front, you gotta, thank you. She's a 23-month-old puppy who really hasn't worked with me very much since she was maybe 4 or 5 months old, okay? We get a transfer value, and then you just keep building and building and building. She's a Staffordshire Bull Terrier cross. And when we got her, she got very ill, and she was in intensive care for a week. She had a very hard start. There's so many knocks that, said, oh, this is going to be harder. And we're still on a journey with her. She's still learning. Okay. So the difference is in your lesson plans and the way you practice. But I think a big part of it is in how much you believe in what's possible. So I have a question for you. Do you think if I was going to be your coach that you could get that level of excellence with your dog? If I was coaching you, do you think you could get there? If I was coaching you with our programs, and maybe it's dog agility you're interested, maybe it's having a dog who always comes when they're called, or having a dog, do you think, like I'm asking, do you believe in my coaching abilities? Do you believe in our programming? Do you believe in that I could get you there? If I said, hey, I'm going to show up at your house and we're going to work on this, I want to get you there. Do you think that that's possible? So yes, many of you are saying absolutely, absolutely. All right. That's the first most important part. The second most important part, do you believe your dog is capable? Do you have belief in the talents, in who your dog is? Do you believe that your dog could change and learn and grow and become more engaged and more focused on you and more excited about the opportunity to work? Do you believe in your dog is my next question. And it's okay. You're in a safe place if you say, yeah, I think my dog's stupid. I mean, I would hope I could change your mind about that. But okay, so you all are saying yes. Okay, I'm giving you guys hearts because I love that you have that much belief in your dogs. Like that that I now get where your relationship is. I now get how much you think of your dog. Okay. So Kyle says he doesn't have as much belief as he should. There is no should, there just is. Because the moment you say, I don't have as much as I should, you now are putting yourself in a place of blame. You're now putting yourself in a place of judgment. And that's not helpful to you at all. I don't currently have the belief I'd like tomorrow, but what's next? How am I going to get there? Okay. So third question I have for you is, how much belief do you have in yourself to be able to get your dog to a place of encouragement and joy and interaction and engagement, and that you can walk out to a leash-free park if you wanted to and take that leash off your dog, and your dog can hang out your side in reinforcement zone or go off and play, and then you come right back. How much belief do you have in you is what I'm asking. How much belief? Now, you might be sitting there thinking, I got flunked out of my last dog training class. I know I can't do that. I don't. Yeah. So many of you are I love that you're being so honest that, that is a more difficult question that I'm asking, right? April said, yeah, there's the rub. I'm working on that belief.
Sally asks, why are we so hard on ourselves?
Yeah. And that is the toughest thing. Yeah. So Sully asked, why are we so hard on ourselves? Because we feel we're being judged by those around us. And social media has made it so much worse. And so we feel that we need to be critical of ourselves so nobody else gets a chance to. And guess what? Yeah, imposter syndrome is very real. I know, I love this. After a year in recolors, I now believe in myself. I tell my students all the time, you don't have to have 100% in belief in yourself. You can borrow the belief I have in you, because I've seen you name me a breed, you name me a dog training problem. Your dog is, overly friendly. Your dog is a little bit anxious. Your dog is reactive on leash. Your dog is this breed that has been bred to, be independent, and my dog won't come. But we get you there because of the coaching, the community, the content, and the belief that we have in you. That's what's got to happen. And it may seem difficult, but there's this great quote by this amazing guy. And it goes like this. It says that even the smallest step in the right direction ends up being the biggest step of your life. So sometimes the smallest step in the right direction will end up being the best step of your life. So tiptoe if you must, but take the step. Because when you take that step, it takes you to a better place. It takes you to a better place than when you are where you are today. We need you to have, it's a three-prong process. Belief in us, belief in me as your coach, belief in our programs, belief in your dog, and belief in yourself. And even if you're tiptoeing, it's a step in the right direction. And I mean, I can just tell you, it doesn't matter if you're limited by you think you're too old. You think, well, I'm teaching from a electric chair, or I can't because I failed at too many things with my dog before. It doesn't matter why. We believe so much in our students. We believe so much in our programs that we give you every program that the opportunity for you to join today has a money back guarantee period. Every single program, because number one, I want people to know you're jumping out of a place of trust, but you're jumping with a parachute. The parachute is If you think, well, I'm not sure, after 2 weeks, depending on the program, after longer, you can say, listen, I thought I could do this, but I'm struggling, and we're going to help you. And if you say, I would just like my money back, 100% of your money comes back.
Even if you have a sighthound?
Exactly. Even if you have a sighthound. So I have sighthounds. They will never be off leash for in a non-safety fenced in area. Training is certain recall not going to happen. Sharon, if you allow us to let go of that limiting belief, I can share with you all of the stories we have of so many people who have been through our programs with sighthounds, including one that was hit by a car when he was out bolting. If you can just say it could be possible, then I think you're going to be amazed at what you're going to see. All right. So if you believe that you would like to look at the opportunities to become one of my students, then go to shapedbydog.com/4 years. 4 years of doing our Shaped by Dog podcast, and we're celebrating with you. And on that page, you'll see that there is a video that will give you if I'm not sure what program's right for me, it will give you a little decision-making process that you can go through. If in doubt, I tell people recallers is always a great place to start. If you think, I really want to get involved with dog agility. Dog agility might be the best place to start. But if along the way you're struggling with maybe focus, we might say, let's put a hold on the program and get you back in recallers to get some of that focus. You see, every dog that I've used as a demo this week, I've used all of my dogs. So I've used Swagger, I've used Tater Salad, I've used Momentum, and this, and my 9-month-old puppy, and Kim's 23-month-old dog. Every single dog, the commonality was the focus they had for work, the focus they had for me. That comes by getting a transfer of value. So the sighthound who is looking for the squirrels or the rabbits, why you have to be concerned about those dogs' recalls is the obvious danger. What our program does is it doesn't take away that innate drive to want to chase. What it does is it creates so much focus for you in the games that the rest of the background becomes white noise to the dog. So they see it, they go, oh yeah, there's my mom. That's what I'm after. Okay. So if you have any questions, I mean, the biggest thing is there's a little voice in your head that's going to tell you why you can't do it. And you've got to be willing to say, I'm worth taking that tiny step. I'm worth saying this could be right. And I'm worth trying. You know, a lot of people will get their dog training by, I got my puppy, I'm going to scroll YouTube and see, how can I house train my dog? Or how can I get my dog to walk on a loose leash? And what you're doing is you're looking for answers in a very random way. And guess what? Random information gives you random results. You don't want random results. You want strategically layered, progressive, interactive, fun way for your dog to learn, because that's the only way that you can guarantee that you are going to take action yourself. If it's fun, if it's a game, you're more likely to do it. Okay, so and questions, looking for questions. Yeah, and that gets you going down rabbit holes. You know, before you know it, you've just wasted a half a day on scrolling videos. Okay,
I love it.
Random. Linda wants me to repeat it. So, looking for education, random pieces of information gives you random results, my friend. There's nothing of value. Yeah, you might, hey, I taught my dog how to wave on YouTube. How cool is that? But your dog won't come back when they're called. And your dog doesn't know how to walk around other dogs down the street. Random information gives you random results. If you want an intentional way to take you from where you are now to where achieving all your goals in 2024 would be, then I encourage you to put the toe in the water, take the first step forward, try our programs, because there's just too many people that have tried it that have had amazing results. They can't all be wrong. Okay.
Lifetime.
Is it lifetime access to the course? No, it's not, because most or many courses will give you a video and maybe even some information on that video. All of our programs give you coaching in real time, 24 hours a day. We have coaches in all the time zones around the world. So, and every year I change the classrooms. I add something to it. There's bonuses. So things like, how do I teach a retrieve? That's a bonus that we put in Homeschool the Dog and into Recallers. So it changes. So it's like you're getting new information every year. But the neat thing is you don't have to pay the full amount every year. We actually, once you've gone through the programs, once you are then called an alumnus. And as an alumnus, you get a special version of the program. You still get access to all the program and everything else. You get something else. And we encourage everybody to stay around as alumnus. And we have people who've been, for example, in Recallers since the beginning. And that was in 2010. So we've had people that have been in that program that long, 14 years. I told them about the decision-making video. Thank you. Okay. I'm going to give away another prize. So we're going to give away our today's share. So today's share goes to Kathy. Is that a K? Verkill?
Yeah.
Verkill Palizzi. Palizria? Is that an R there?
Yeah.
It's handwritten. So Kathy, contact my team at wagatdogsthat.com and you are the winner.
Chris has
Yes, there is a fee for being in our alumni. It's nowhere near the price of the program.
Chris has a good question about recommending for trainers.
This is a great question. Can puppies be in Recallers? Every Recallers basically started because it was how I train my puppies and rescue dogs, because at the time I was bringing in a lot of different rescue dogs, rehabilitating them and finding them phenomenal homes. So it is a game-based strategic program that is brilliant for puppies, but it works for dogs of all ages. I think we had a new record of age of a new dog starting in Recallers. I used to think that we had 16 was the oldest dog, but last year we got one older than 16. I can't remember what the age was. So it works brilliantly for every age.
What about
Okay.
continuing ed for trainers?
What do you mean?
CEUs.
Oh, yes. For those who are asking, we do have CEUs for those of you who are trainers and like to get credit for your accreditation. Yes, you can get those from our programs. So I'm struggling with having discipline to progress in my training. How can I get support? So there's two ways you do it. Number one, you follow the program and we have accountability built in. It's custom built. Our program is on a custom built website. So we do have accountability built in that, but also our coaches, we encourage you to post videos of your training. If you feel comfortable doing that, you don't have to, but our coaches watch your video and say, hey, do you realize that you didn't put the cookie on your inseam and reinforcement zone? Like they find little nuances and help you grow your understanding. So those are ways that really help make a big difference in your uptake of the program and you're staying on track with the program. Okay. Any other questions before we jump off? Listen, go to shapedbydog.com/4 years as a point of curiosity. Go there, look at the programs, look at the video. If you've followed along and followed any of the podcast episodes, then I know you have an interest in being this person for your dog. And I know you have an interest in helping your dog have their best life possible. And so that's why I encourage that's why I encourage you to consider just looking, right? I'm looking for if there's any, okay, I'm looking if there's any more questions. I'm here to answer them. Otherwise, I want to ask you one more question. Like, what's next for you to move from where you are right now, to move to a better place? And I think if you've been following along these 3 lessons before today, your mind is probably already made up that you would like to be part of our programs and continue to be coached by us, because we've only done an hour a day here. In any one of our programs, you will get hours of help. Okay. So what's next? And if you go over, when you go over to that page, there'll be a live chat in the bottom. So somebody on my team will be there if you have more questions. And if there's enough questions, then I could probably jump on another live over the weekend and answer them for you. Sarah, I'm still in recolors. Would handling 360 be beneficial? Sarah, I would like you to contact our team, because our coaches will know where you are, and maybe we can ask you some questions. And definitely, I think that is the next step for you. But I want to make sure you're ready for it. Okay, so that is what I would recommend you do. Contact us. Okay, this is another great question. I worry I'll pay $500 for recallers and my procrastination will mean I don't accomplish much and I'll feel it was money wasted. Okay, Tina, we're going to make sure that doesn't happen, because there's 40 games in recallers, but that's not all that's there. There's 40 games, and then there's extra programs like Pedicure Please, which teaches you how to get a dog relaxed while you're cutting their nails. There's the Bring Me program that teaches you how to get your dog to retrieve any object to. There's a lot of extras in there. So what if you pay $500 and you don't get to all of those programs? Was it a waste of time and money? It wouldn't be if you actually got through the majority of the games and you had amazing transformation in your dog. You had an amazing transformation in you. Then it would be money well spent. So how are you going to make sure you're not going to procrastinate? We're going to send you emails. If you sign up for our texts, we're going to send you texts as well. We're going to encourage you, but we won't need to encourage you, because your dog will be the one doing the encouraging. You play 1 or 2 games, and this is the great thing. Join Recallers, and then after playing games for 2 weeks, you'll see a difference in your dogs, and your dog will be saying, "Where are we going to the training den today? Can we go to the training den? Because I wanted." Your dog's going to make sure you don't procrastinate. But after 2 weeks, let's say you join and you end up like watching Netflix for 2 weeks and you didn't do anything. You contact us and we will give you 100% of your money back. We have everything in place to make sure that doesn't happen. But I can't be knocking on your door. And so if you, for some reason, end up doing something else for 2 weeks, 100% will give you your money back. Okay? Looking for more. And that's the truth. And that's why I train my dogs as often as I do. I mean, I can do just a quickie that I'll train. If I have more time, I'll do a 10 or 15 minute session, but I will often do just a 30-second session. Just doing something like I did with B out there, side and close. Like those little sessions, they all add up to get more focus for you. And that's why I believe reinforcement, game-based training is the absolute best way to train your dog. Okay, but you can read the comments. There's a lot of our students that are saying, just sharing their experiences, that the programs work. They have great results. If you're interested in dog agility, whether it is just to be a person who has a great game, like on the video that I showed of Shelly yesterday, somebody who just has fun with their dog, or like some of our students, you want to be on a world team, you want to be on a podium at a world championship. Yes, we've had students who've done that. So wherever you are, however you want to grow that connection, I think that this is going to be the best way for you. but don't take our word for it. Go over to the shapedbydog.com/4 years registration page there. Take a look. See what's there that makes you go, I think this could be for me. And let's see where it leads you. Okay. Any other questions that I should be taking on, answering?
No, but
I
got
don't.
some ideas for podcasts.
Oh, great. Awesome. We have some ideas for podcasts. That's what LOH said. Okay, guys, I'm going to jump off. Thank you to B. You're looking very chill and relaxed. Thank you to Linda. Thank you to my team. Thank you for each of you guys being here for our 4 lives this week. But most of all, thank you for supporting the podcast. Thank you for all the love you show the team that are behind the scenes creating Shaped by Dog, and to all of our coaches that are out there helping you every day to bring out the best in your dogs. I will see you hopefully inside one of our programs. Hearts to each and every one of you.